Where is the government in all this? What are the cons? Jua kunanga kitu perfect. Let a friend wa vibes. Babe, twende Naivasha. Sawa, sangapi? Hey, the vibes are vibing, nini. Naona machupa za Kenya Cane coconut. Yo. Hi, if you've never seen me before, my name is Dr.Lindahmuthoni. I would love to say what kind of content I make, but this channel is fairly new, so let me just say lifestyle. This particular video you'll be getting ready with me as we chat kidogo, just talking about random things that I think about. First of all, let me just say, it was not my intention to look like somebody's mom. Sawa, I was just showing how you can cut your wig. Next thing I know, I look in the mirror and I'm like, I look like my mom. By the way, are you guys feeling the setup? Let me know what you think of it. Without further ado, let's get into the video. I have a date with Bay. It's now 12:27. He's supposed to pick me up at around 3, so I have plenty of time to chat and get ready with you guys. So first of all, let me apologize in advance if you hear any noise, any background noise. There are kids outside playing. Yeah, is that. And I'm also going to be having a bit of fruit because I haven't had proper breakfast. Nilikula ile breakfast ya madharau. So I just realized I don't have a mirror. Yo, this content creation thing. Okay, let me figure out this mirror situation. I'll be right back. So I'm just going to slide this back a bit. I think by now almost everyone knows how to put on a wig, but for those of you who are interested, because for the longest time people keep asking me, show us how you do your hair, I got this wig a couple of months ago and I have never worn it. I look like a crazy person when I wear it. I just find it so bulky. Inakaa tu mama. Some of the things I want to do, first of all, I need to flatten the top. I feel like it's too bulky. I also want to cut it because it has an awkward length and I don't like, I'm just not feeling it. I'm going to put rubber bands at the end because I want to start by cutting it just to make sure that the cut is precise. I feel like the way this hair is bulky, it makes more sense if it's short. Because that's this awkward length is giving is not. Any Bambi. Okay, so this is what we're working with right now. I think this length makes way more sense. Now I just need to layer this. First of all, I need to cut this to make sure it's one length. And something else I need to do is put layers in the hair. Switching over to a voiceover because I wasn't able to explain this process while I was doing it. So I'm using clippers that I got from Du Bois and I'm just using that to level out the wig. Now the mistake I made was I wasn't keen on making sure that the wig wasn't crooked when I put it on the wig head. So the cut was slightly longer on one side, but I ended up rectifying that at the end. And then I also layered the wig layers, make it so that your wig looks fuller and it also frames your face better. So that's what I'm doing right here. Take your time, don't rush this process. And also I'm not a hairstylist, so accord me with some grace. I just do what I feel like looks good to me. Anyway, I flatten the hair section by section. Now back to the video. It's literally almost an hour later, if not more. I'm just putting powder on the lace so that it matches my skin. I actually just noticed that I need to bleach the knots on this wig, but right now it's a bit late. I'll just wear it as is. I'll figure it out some other time. I'm going to use Got to Be Glued and just put that directly on my skin. Wish I was able to talk to you guys like on a live, you know, like Nijue, how you're doing, what's good, what's happening. Voiceover Linda back again because I just realized I was just rambling in the video instead of explaining what I was doing. So I usually wear my wig slightly in front of my hairline because I have plenty of real estate on my forehead, okay? I placed the wig on top of the areas where I had put the gel, and then I realized that the lace was slightly longer on one side, so it was just laying on my ear, which was very uncomfortable. So I went ahead and cut that, and then I added a bit more Got to Be glued gel where on the spaces I had missed, and then I went through that with a small comb just to make sure everything is laid down, and then I tied that as I moved on to my makeup. Just going to start by cleaning my hands. So I'm going to start off with primer. Most of these things that I will use, I don't know if they're still being sold, because kitambo I used to wear a lot of makeup, but these days I barely do. And now because of that, I don't really know if like some things are still being sold or not. I shouldn't be using makeup that I bought years ago. But mi nasikianga uchungu kutupa makeup. I love this powder so much, but look at how it looks. Like it's beat up. It has been through so much. So anyway, I'm just going to set my primer kidogo. Meanwhile, the other day I was watching a documentary on YouTube. I'll actually put a screenshot. When I tell you I was so depressed after watching that video, yani the things that the babes are going through out here is not even funny. So typically I use Fenty for 50. I think this is warm coconut, Maybelline. I'm not sure. I mix these two to get my shade. However, I don't really feel like wearing heavy makeup like that. Let me tell you, one thing I realize is when I take care of my skin, I don't really need that much product, you know, to like look good. So I'm literally just going to go in with this LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Chestnut. And then just put that all over my face. It's not really much to conceal. I just need an even base. Okay, so back to the documentary. So basically the documentary was just about how, you know, Kenyan girls are going abroad, you know, being promised jobs as house helps and all this, only to get there and become slaves. And then they end up not even getting paid. Kwanza, there is one story yenye niliona hapo ya some lady who eventually passed away. I think her name was Sarah. I could be wrong, don't quote me. But it was so sad, as in venye watu, these people in the Middle East, not all of them, but some of these people, the way they treat Africans is just ridiculous, you know. And actually another thing, I'm just like, where is the government in all this? Because from what I understood from the documentary, I think during Kibaki's time, either Kibaki ama Uhuru, one of the two, the permit to go and work in the Middle East was banned from Kenya. Even if you were going to the Middle East, you couldn't get a work permit unless you go there illegally, like to work illegally. However, sijui 2017, actually, yeah, it was during Kibaki's time when it was revoked. And then in 2017, ikarudishwa, like someone brought back that work permit thing, nikaona hapo ati wanaongea. Watching that documentary, I was like, yeah, I actually remember when this president was around, because that particular day there was so much traffic. Bado hakukuwa na expressway, so there was a lot of traffic around Nairobi. So nilikuwa na watch TV, niko like, yani aki mnyonge hana haki walai. Like, yani vitu zenye watu wanapitia, aki, it's so sad. On one hand, I understand, like, these girls are going there out of desperation. Unajua hawana choice. They need to provide for their families. Most of them are single moms. But at the same time, I'm just like, Aki, I wish there was more information out there to educate these girls. Let me actually segue from that and talk about an experience I had with one of the ladies who used to do my nails. By the way, this is LA Pro Concealer in the color Fawn. I'm just using that to highlight. While that sets, I'm going to move on to my brows. Ona kai pencil Kenya natumia. And do you know, I have a whole dozen in the other room. But music uchungu kutupa, so I will use it mpaka kaishe. I will get my money's worth. Back to this story, my lady that used to do my nails a while back, and we used to talk sana. When you're getting your nails done, it takes about 3 to 4 hours, depending on what you're doing, like manicure, pedicure, acrylics, blah, blah, blah. So you're bound to bond kidogo, you know, like it's inevitable. In fact, when she started there, she used to be an employee, and then she went ahead and bought the owner out. So anyway, she told me ati nataka kwenda majuu. Nikamzambona atakwenda majuu mama, like, as in, honestly, you're doing so well, you're now like the owner of this place, unaenda majuu kufanya nini? And then she explained to me, like, the ladies that she used to work with before, like the salon she used to be at before she came to the one that she now owns, kuna wenye wali apply green card na ni mabeshti wake, wakaenda majuu and they are doing so well. So she was just telling me, like, wenye wanamwambia, wenye wameomoka, majuu ni kupoa. By the way, when I say majuu, I'm talking about states. I literally just stopped her mid-conversation. I was like, Mama, umeshaniambia all the good things that hawa watu wamekwambia, basically the pros of being in the States, nini, it's so amazing, it's so good. What are the cons? Jua kunanga kitu perfect. Haiwezi kuwa atinyi watu mnaishi tu majuu like mlienda huko as immigrants and everything is just perfect. Mind you, this lady where she lives in Kenya is a very comfortable 3-bedroom in a gated community, all that. However, ananiambia tuko majuu where her friends are, wanna share one house, like sijui 4 people or something like that. And mind you, this friend of this lady who's in the States right now, mwenye alishinda green card, has a kid. So you can imagine if the others have kids, mna share like maybe let's say 2 or 3 bedroom. I don't know how it works in the States, but mna share a house. Like it's not just the adults, it's not just the 4 adults. Of course kuna watoi. And I was just trying to explain to her, namwambia hizi vitu like usifikirie tu just because mtu ako majuu they are doing well. Some of them might only show you the good parts, but there's a lot that goes into relocating from a country that you're familiar with, you know umeshazoea, to now being in a whole different continent. Let's talk about the loneliness. Let's talk about the cost of living. Let's talk about the fact that you want to leave a place where you are the CEO just because in Africa, where you're the CEO, you're living in a comfortable 3-bedroom, to go to the States to work for someone, and more likely than not, you will probably not just be doing one job. To make ends meet, you might have to do 2-3 jobs. I mean, we can argue visa ya maju, like once that kid gets visa ya maju, they are set for life. However, if we critically look at this and just do simple cost-benefit analysis, you will lose more than you will gain. Actually, before I even move on to the next topic, let me just say, I am not trying in any way to purport that everyone who goes to the States is suffering. Not at all. It's also not to discourage anyone who's probably watching this video and considering going to the States. Like, you know, I'm not trying to discourage you. So yeah, like before you go to the States, just try and think critically where you'll be staying, what exactly you'll be doing, how long you'll be gone. Like, don't dismiss the fact that you can still make it in Africa. Yani niliwatch your documentary, I was so heartbroken. Like I just remember nilimaliza to watch the whole day. I was just sobbing. I want to take this off because it's hurting my ears. Let's see. Ooh, yes, honey. Yeah, so far so good. Let me just pin this back. Look at my 2 ears. Oh my god. Do you know there's someone who was telling me ati niko na masikio cheveve, nikamwambia walai ni kwa sababu nimevaa wig. You know, now when you wear a wig it pushes your 2 ears out huko nyuma. I'm just pinning the hair huko nyuma, like I'm attaching the wig to the elastic band. Okay, I need to drink water because I know I'll be drinking after this. I will need the hydration. By the way, what do you guys drink? Mimi, I think there's no alcohol I have not indulged in. Well, I went through my whole campus life without drinking. I started drinking when I got employed. Started off with vodka. There was once a time I was such a Ciroc babe. Hey, you could not convince me otherwise. That reminds me, let me tell you guys a random story. So, one time, some guy invites me to a party. So I'm just using Juvia's Place palette. I had someone saying that you don't match your eyeshadow to your clothes. And I was like, wait, what?
What?
I was either in campus or I had just, finished campus. And when I say campus, I mean like undergrad, not master's, not PhD. And he's like, hey, we're having a party in Gigiri. Was it Gigiri or Kitusuru? We're doing it big. We're going to be in this big mansion, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, come through and bring a friend. There's a friend of mine called Tash. And let me tell you, what I love about my friendships is I've had my friends for 10 years plus. So they've seen different phases of my life, So there's a friend of mine called Tash. I think I was with Tash at the moment when I got that call. And I asked her, so babe, kuna ibashi yenye tumeitwa? What do you think to share? She's like, yeah, cool. Why not? One thing I miss about being in campus is how free-spirited most people are. Like right now, if I want to meet my friend, we have to coordinate dates, you check calendars, nini. Back then, babe, twende Naivasha, sawa, sangapi, yani, like you just go. But anyway, so now we agree twende kwa Ibash. So see, you know, we get ready, nini, my makeup, you know, the usual. They get to the party. Hey, the party's in this big mansion. Like the guy said, for sure, like, hey. So it turns out one of the guys, his parents were out of town, so he decided to throw a party. We weren't that many. I'd say like give or take, we were like 15 people in that party, maximum. So I had just started drinking. So Miss Kona jua taste the pombe. Like these days, even without seeing the bottle, I can taste this and tell you this is rum, this is cognac, this is vodka, this is gin. Back then, I was a newbie to alcohol, so I didn't know. So we get to the party, right? Hey, the vibes are vibing, nini. You know, the drinks are flowing. So the one thing I noticed was that this alcohol was being poured from a jug. Like the alcohol was in like a fancy, very fancy jug. It didn't come in its original bottle. Like you couldn't tell if it's Ciroc or if it's Konyagi. You can't tell. But of course, as I've mentioned, me your time, I didn't think much of it. I mean, right now you can't just serve me alcohol from a random jug and I take. But back then, oh, by the way, I'm using this old beat up brush from a sleek palette I've had for years that I stole from my mom. I think I stole this palette from my mom when I was in high school. Tuendelee na story. So tumefika bash, bash imeshika nini. Alafu I noticed hii pombe inaletwa kwa jug haiishi, like ikiisha inaenda na refiliwa inaletwa. So mimi nilikuwa na feel ina taste Malibu, you know, like to the best of my knowledge, I'm like it has that coconut taste. It's like Malibu. I'm like, oh, the drinks are flowing nini. Whatever. So tukalewa haraka, as in literally mimi nakumbuka tu nilifika tu hivi kwa bash and like let's say give or take like an hour later I'm so drunk and so is my friend, and regardless of the fact that I wasn't such a drinker, my tolerance for alcohol is pretty high. So I'm like, hey, what's going on? Hii Malibu imenibeba. Anyway, I had some gum in my pocket, so you know, I pull out the gum, I eat it, but sasa that gum that I had was, you know, like the last piece. I needed to throw out the paper, so I asked, okay, kitchen iko wapi, nataka kutupa hii paper. They're like, enda tu hivyo blah blah blah, nikadirectiwa. So I went to throw out the paper. Fam, tell me why I open up the dustbin like this. Naona machupa za Kenyan coconut. Yo.
And will leave you in the desert without water. Yeah.
Kenyan, KC. Hey, fam. Let me tell you, niliona hizo chupa tu hivi. Nilianza kusikia hangi from that moment. Hata pombe zikashuka, like I was just like So kumbe, the whole time I'm thinking I'm taking Malibu. So you know Malibu, if anyone who's drunk Malibu will tell you, Malibu has a coconut taste. Not that there's anything wrong with Kenyan. Please don't come for me. That was actually the whole reason why I was trying to explain that this party was in Kitisuru. Like you wouldn't expect to find such a drink in such a place. Yo, I go back, I tell my friend, babe, imagine all the way tumekuwa tukikunywa Kenyan. My friend is like, no wonder we're so drunk. Like, let's just leave. So anyway, we left shortly after.
Oh my God, what is that?
Sorry, I think there's someone at the door. Let me come. Look at what just got delivered. Oh, we love a man that puts in effort, right? So let me stop rambling because I don't want him to get here and I'm not ready. We'll chat after I'm done. Okay, so I just did my lashes, blush, highlighter, and eyeliner. Something I realized about my hair is that this side is longer than this. For my lips, I think I'll do something, I feel like I want to do something dark and sultry as usual. Like that's the only type of lipstick I wear. Let me tell you, I think I've said this before, but I'm just going to say it again. When I was growing up, my mom only used to wear dark maroon lipstick. I feel like I'm just always inclined to doing that for my lippy. Finish off with this hair. First of all, I don't do baby hairs. Just to blend it out a bit more. So this is just spray that I'm going to use. I usually spray it on my hand and then use my finger to spread it out, because if I spray it directly, I feel like it might tamper with the got to be. So this just helps like to blend in. It removes that ashiness of the lace. I'm just going to use whatever is remaining on my hand to just flatten out this part. Then I'm going to go in with my flat iron just one more time. This is just a curling iron I got from Dubois. You can use it in 3 ways. It can be a curling iron, a flat iron, or can crimp. It has crimps. So I'm just going to the curling setting. Just like that. Just like that. Woo! Honey, it's a bang.
Not the banging, the banging.
So I think I'm done. Let me go get dressed and then wrap this up because I need to go. I hope you enjoyed this kind of content where we sit and talk about just random things. Let me know your thoughts on all the topics I talked about today. Let me know if this kind of hair is something that you would wear. I don't know if you noticed, but I changed the lip. I felt like I was doing too much with the other one. Anyway, we are at 9K. Thank you so much for 9K subscribers. I am so grateful to all the people who take the time to like, share, comment, even if you just viewed and didn't engage with the content. It's okay. I'm so grateful. With that said, I'm just going to take a shot to 9K. I started this channel a month ago, and literally my goal was just get to 200 subscribers by the end of the year. I kid you not. I didn't have very high expectations. To be here a month later and to be celebrating 9K, I just feel my heart is so full. So this one is for you. If you drink Jaeger, drink with me. If you don't, that's fine. Drink something else. Have a sip of water. Have a sip of, wine, rosé, prosecco. Have a sip of gin, whatever you have. Here's to you. I will see you on the next video. That wasn't so bad. That was like a baby shot.